Hi, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and we are here today and super excited to have Roger Salam with us. Hi Roger, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Please, anytime. So Roger, for those that don't know him yet, he's a best-selling author, an incredible motivational speaker. He's the founder of the Mastermind, the Winner's Circle, and he has been the recipient of the Thought Leader Award of the Year. So Roger, welcome to our show.
Thank you, my friend.
So the first thing I would like to ask you is, what's your mission in life, Roger?
My mission is to help people. There's 3 parts to my mission. First is to help them become financially free. 2, lead a purpose-driven life and live a happy and fulfilling life.
Are those 3 main goals or interrelated, and how are they?
Because I have made millions and lost millions. I've lost millionaire status twice. This is my 3rd time, and this time I want to keep it. And I feel every day I study 2 things, is wealth and happiness. And money being the most powerful symbol of wealth, so I study money and happiness. And because I feel that people suffer from both of them. And one of the primary reasons they don't have both of them, it eludes them, is because they don't have clarity on them. And if I teach people, I can take anyone and show them how they can make money with no money, no credit, and by changing their mindset and having specialized knowledge. But if I just stop and help people make money, I believe I'll be doing them a disservice, because you and I both know many rich people that are miserable. That money does not solve the problem, but it sure helps. For most people, money gets in the way. So let's get money out of the way, but along the way, my first love, my first passion is personal development. That's my first love. My second love is creating financial independence, and third love is entrepreneurship, almost in that order. And I believe if you lead a purpose-driven life, that means find the why, and then live a happy and fulfilling life. The goal of all goal is to be happy. The goal of all goal is to be happy. But the reason I chose those words carefully, fulfillment, only way you can get fulfillment is only when you help others. You can be excited, you can be, you can get the awards, and all of those are self-gratifying, but only way you can get fulfillment is when you do something for someone else. And the spirit of generosity. Spirit of generosity. So this is my calling on every single day. Study those topics as my core call, and business are wrapped around those things, teaching people how to do that, and in my self-discovery of how to better get there faster in a better way.
How do you help people to find their own life purpose?
And it's almost like if I listen to their stories, the quality of your life is the quality of the questions that you ask yourself and others on a regular basis. Life is not about the answers. Quality of your life is the quality of the questions you ask yourself and others on a regular basis. If you want to know your calling, your passion, one simple question that will verify to you that whether you have found your calling is ask yourself, because most people are doing a job or they have a business to make money so they can pay the bills, the students, their kids to college, all the things that buy food. So if all of a sudden I come to you and I said that, look, how much money do you need? It's $1 million or 10 million or 100 million? That now here, what's your bank account? I give you $10 million in your bank account. All of a sudden, you don't have to work. Just the interest off of that, by investing it, it covers all your bills, everything ends up. So then what remains is your time. What will you do with your time? Will you still be doing what you're doing right now with all the money that you have? Then you have found your calling. I would be doing what I'm doing right now if I had no money or I became a billionaire.
I would do too.
Yeah. So that's why you have found your calling. You found your calling.
You really made me be inside of your story as you were saying it, or as you were explaining it, your explanation. What's your story? Where do you come from? Where does Roger come from?
My backstory of it's originally from Bangladesh, and I came to the U.S. to go to school. I went to UCLA, and right after I graduated, through just after one job, I was very fortunate that I met my first mentor, Tony Robbins, and I went to see him. When I saw him, that he was the most profound and prolific speaker that I've ever seen in my life up until that point. And I said, and as he was telling the stories of and what he was teaching, I said to myself that I want to master what he's teaching because it's too important. I said, instead of dabbling in it, I want to master it. I said, what better way to master than to go work for him? He'll make sure I live it, otherwise he'll fire me. My intention was not to go there to make money, to get a job, to master what he's teaching. So I got, and his thing was to teach what he teaches to other people. So I had to master. And I joined and became the #1 speaker for Tony Robbins. I used to travel 48 weeks out of the year, traveling and doing speeches 3-4 times a day. I've done over 10,000 professional presentations. So once you do that, you cannot help but mastery comes with it. And that's how I got started. And I literally, with Tony Robbins, after being there for almost a decade, I retired at the ripe old age of 29 in Florida. And that was my last city. I never went to the beach, and then just came back from there. A guy who bought the rights for Tony Robbins for UK, he called me because he called the corporate headquarters, said, hey, I bought the rights for Tony, but I have no idea how to market. But they told me that our #1 guy just retired in Florida. He's young, maybe you can talk him out of retirement. And that's when he called me. I said, thank you for saving me, because I was so bored with after 2 months, all the waves looked the same. And I had to build a team and went to UK and sold out, opened up UK, and then trained the trainers so that he wouldn't be depending on me. And when I was done and it was successful and I was leaving, he called me in his office. He said, listen, Tony's not coming back for another year. What do we do in between? He says, I went and surveyed all the companies that you went to speak, and why don't we market you? I said, moi? My self-esteem was not high enough. I never saw myself as the main man. I was the person who promotes the main man. But someone else saw me like that. And I said, wow. And he surveyed, and that's how I sort of accidentally started my own stage, my own speaking. And I was Florida and just flying into London and doing corporate events and speaking events. And then I started getting in my own events in Florida. And I slowly got into the internet field. Because in '97, I became partner with a company that was in the forefront of the internet. And we took an internet company from nothing to $2 billion in market within a span of short time. And I thought I was financially pretty much set. I was one of the early ones, investors in the company. But what happened is, those of you who don't know, maybe worldwide, is when in 1999, when the internet bubble bursted.
Exactly.
And I lost everything. I lost everything. And that's why I joke when I do seminars that when the stock market crashed, I slept like a baby. Woke up every hour and cried. so I didn't know what to do. Late night, I can't fall asleep, so I was flipping through channels because I was just to take my mind off. And all of a sudden I see an infomercial, and it comes on and says, you can make money in real estate with no money, no credit. I said, I qualify. And I just went to that seminar and got my second thing, started in real estate investing with this man's technique, my mentor, and built a portfolio from nothing with no money, no credit, and built up. Me and my partner owned over 500 houses in the Florida, in the Tampa Bay area. And then I started doing my own real estate seminars and giving back what was given to me. So I can take, that's where my confidence comes in, that you can take anything away and I can rebuild it. And so that's why I said the financial independence, and I use real estate as a vehicle to, you can do anything you can do to make money, but I believe that real estate is the best vehicle to create financial wealth, because 7 out of 10 people in the US became millionaires through what? Real estate. Mm-hmm. So that's a proven path to become millionaire. So create passive income, and then find out in the process, find out what your purpose in life is, and make sure that you create fulfillment and live a happy life.
Tell us a little bit more about the winner's circle, because you founded that mastermind.
Yes.
Is it related to real estate? Is it does it have a broader framework?
About a decade ago, when I was doing the real estate, a friend of mine came to me, and I was teaching real estate, he was teaching all these other real estate gurus, we were competing, field seems like. He said, you know what, why are we competing? Why didn't we collaborate? Create a mastermind where you come together, and first, it started as a real estate, quote unquote, guru organization, invitation only, and became very quickly about 150 gurus coming in. That becomes a very high $15,000, $25,000 membership organization. But then when 2008, the real estate bubble bursted, all these gurus sort of fell apart. So I had to open it up to other than non-real estate. So that's when it became now a much richer organization today, out of necessity, out of survival of this organization. So I said, okay, now stock, or so anybody that does anything, influence, any kind of thought leader, were allowed to come in. And now, Winner Circle Mastermind, I was doing just Mastermind in the US. Now I've become sort of an experiential junkie. I want to give people not just Mastermind, but Mastermind at a place like this, Costa Rica, or last year, for example, we went to New Zealand. I took a group of people to New Zealand. I took a group of people to China, to Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Macau. I took a group of people to Bangladesh, my home country. And once a year, these are invitationally about 15 to 20 people, max. Because so to intimate, the biggest thought leader event I do is end of the year. Every year in December, the end of second week, for a week, I take about 100 thought leaders on a mastermind cruise. It's about for a week. And this year is going to be my 11th year. And this year's theme is called Radical Collaboration, where 1 + 1 = 11. And when these 100 thought leaders get together for a week, and goal is to have absolutely this outrageous fun. Because that's why we do it on a cruise, because everything is just fun. People let their hair down, and when we're at sea, we do some sessions. This is where we do our goal setting for the next year. This is where we figure out what resources I need, what collaboration I need. It's all about people coming together. How can I serve the others? This is a no-pitch mastermind, and they're coming to serve and have fun. The overwhelming, overriding goal for this organization is to build quality relationships. Instead of, because we're running, so that when you take all of them, people put in a boat, they have nowhere else to go. And usually the internet doesn't work very well. They go, okay, I now have to talk to you. No texting, no nothing. So they let their hair down. And magic happens when you create some process and systems around it, and you create this, choose the right people to come. And I don't really even choose. This is where my life is going. I'm just surrendering. Let the universe bring in the right people, the right coming, meeting you, coming to joint venture with EBC. Anything good and great that's happened to my life is a direct, not indirect, is a direct result of my mastermind for the last decade, or another mastermind event that I went to, or I joined someone else's, is a mastermind. Mastermind is the highest principle for achieving success. And it's not me, because I'm a student of success. That's what Tony Robbins taught me, is he's a student of success. He studies successful people. And in Napoleon Hill, who's probably the modern grandfather of the personal development movement, and he was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the world at that time in 1903, to find out what are why are all these people successful? So he gave him access to all the successful people, from Edison to Ford and all these people. So he studied them. As a result of the study is a book, The Think and Grow Rich. And he came up with 17 principles. Of the 17 principles, 3 are what he called foundational principles, and 14 are supporting principles for becoming successful, becoming rich, and powerful. Of the 3 foundational principles, foundation means that all the people that he studied, these were the 3 in common foundational principles. Number 1 was definiteness of purpose. That's knowing what is it that you want, knowing where you want to go. Because if you don't know where you are going, nobody can give you directions. And the universe cannot tell you where to bring you there, you don't know what you want. But the moment you know what is it that you want, the number 1 principle to get there is a principle of mastermind. And that's why in principle of mastermind is when 2 or more people get together in the spirit of harmony and cooperation, either to achieve their individual or a collective goal. When 2 people come together in that spirit, almost a third, a collective mind develops, hence the mastermind. So when 12 people come together, there's a 13th mind, which is a collective mind of this 12, hence the mastermind. Magic happens.
You mentioned a term which is radical collaboration. I had never heard that. Excuse me, I had never heard that term before. I love the term. So, how would you describe it? Could you give us an example of what is a radical collaboration example?
This is radical collaboration. I feel if 1 + 1 = 2, I don't need you. I want 1 + 1 = 11. And so this is where I want to embody the principle of mastermind, that this third invisible mind, to create and hold that space for them, for magic to happen. And I've become most people are marketing their product, and they're thinking they create funnels, and they manage all of those things. What I do is I simply manage relationships and friendships. Focus on relationships and friendships and see the joint venture. If you want to, you came here, all the interviews are in one place. You don't have to go and find people. They're here, and you're just smart at taking advantage of all these things because it's in a mastermind. So tell me, what is it that you want? We get together and we're collaborating, and they are finding this mastermind is an example of that radical collaboration. 2 identical organizations, Evolutionary Business Council, EBC and TWC, but they're open-minded. That she came to my mastermind cruise last year. And while we're on the cruise, we're thinking that, you know what? Why don't we bring these 2 into a joint mastermind, and into Costa Rica, we're going to create an intentional community and that's how this happened. Without forcing, without trying to go out and marketing, it's because the relationship came first.
Awesome. You've mentioned a couple of times, maybe 3, about giving back, about helping, about serving, and about how the blessings in your life you've always wanted to give them back to life. How does Roger and his organizations give back? How do you do it, Roger?
I believe that every day when I wake up, it's not like you don't have to do anything grand in your life, but every day you wake up and surrender that I'm here to serve. The next person I'm in front of is the person that I need to serve right now. If I'm doing an event, then the people that are in the room. If I'm not, the ordinary people that are in my life, your family, how can I serve them? And if you're thinking more often, what is it as an organization? Do we do events? Every mastermind that we do, and for the Winner's Circle, we do think there must be something as a service that we're going to do. For example, when I take in Bangladesh, we do a mastermind. We're staying at 5-star hotels and places like that, and we're doing seminars for the business community. But then we reserve a day that I take these people to my village in Bangladesh, where my father built a school. And there's a saying called doing well by doing good. That if you don't have to wait that someday when I do well, then I'll do good. No, if you do good, well will come. And I just realized that my father left a legacy of that. that he not only built that school in the village, that he built that school with his own money long before he built his own house. And then later on, he built his house that's a multi-million-dollar house. But I believe all that came because of the goodwill for the good that he has done. So I take my friends from America, I take them to the village, and all of them take classes and teach the students. And I tell them, and they each have a translator in the class, and we take stuff for them. What can we do for the students? What can we do for the school? One friend said, okay, American friend, he wants to, one of my dearest friends said, we play soccer with the kids, we roll in the rain, mend the mud, taking selfies, and no matter how many 5-star experience I give them, they call me when they write their testimonials, this is when he took me to the village, he changed my life. And they'd say that I thought I was there to transform them, and they said, no, you transformed me. So that's the caption, that transformational leaders going to a third world country to transform, but in the process, they themselves are being transformed.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, as you can tell, our at Mindalia TV, our audience will be thrilled by your testimonial. We really, no wonder you were the recipient of the Thought Leader of the Year award.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the testimonial and for everything that you do every single day. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So for Mindalia TV, thank you very much for being here, and have a wonderful day.